Football League, and you have said in the past that you've waited a long time for the opportunity. Is it fair that you, given your career, that you start this low in the pyramid?
I think you have to start somewhere. I said I'm prepared to start anywhere. I think for me, the opportunity came about. It was no messing around as well. As I said before, it was very clean. It was no kind of. Obviously sometimes you get agents and things like that. It was only one agent and the owner, and it was simple, and I kind of like that. A little bit old school really. Now it's there's about 10 people in between the chairman and actually getting the job. So or the owner. So for me, I like that scenario. And you've got to take an opportunity where, and I felt it was the right time. It was the right time. So for me, not taking this and then maybe waiting for another year, I can't see the point. I think the scenario of going with England, I think that was fantastic for me. 10 days away with Adi Bufroyd and the under 21s. That was great for me. So for me, it's all about taking the opportunities and momentum. That was. I was halfway through that, and then I got a phone call. So sometimes you just gotta roll with it and just go with it. I mean, I think football's all about football's always moving, so you just gotta keep up with it. So that scenario came. Maybe I don't know who that scenario popped up. Maybe 5 years ago. Who knows? I might be thinking in a totally different way. But for me now, and where I am in life, and I want to get started and get going, it was perfect for me.
I saw Oliver Kay from the Times. We spoke last year, and you were saying how desperate you were to manage. Why are you so desperate to manage? What is it about it that appeals so much? And when you look at, for example, Thierry Henry, your ex-Arsenal teammate, he's having a really tough time having gone in at Monaco. Is there anything about the challenge that daunts you, that makes you worry that you could end up,
who knows?
Feeling like it's not something you want to do?
I think for me, it's the passion. It's the passion of football. I think about football all the time. I like strategy. I like the whole kind of buzz of it. I love building. I love building teams. I think it's the next best thing from playing football. I don't really want to do commentating. I want to run my own show in the nicest possible way. I think I'm that type of character. I'm a serious character when it comes to football, and I care about football as well. So I'm deadly serious about football. So I don't really want to muck around, and I want to see how far I can go. So, but the first job is to get Macclesfield further up the field, up the table, and we'll go from there. I think that's the passion is there. I think about football, and I don't really. You can walk away from football then, but it just kept on, coming back. Yeah, there's been times when I thought, well, is it going to happen? I'm not going to tell you a lie. You just never know when it's going to happen. And I've got lots of friends who are in the same boat as well. I was speaking to one of my friends today. I'm not going to say who I was speaking to, but he's trying to get a job as well, and he can't get a job. So for me, it was the right place, right time, right club. Nice people here, fantastic people here, from the tea lady to the owner, and I want to be around football, and I see a future here for me.
So, Riyad Al-Samra from the Daily Mail. You're saying it's been a long time coming. Are you able to put any kind of approximate figure on how many applications you've made for jobs and how many interviews you've actually had before getting this one?
To be honest, for me, I kind of really started 7 years ago with the England scenario, and obviously England now is slightly different now. I think it's a better situation. I don't think they had the pathways there. I think Dan Ashworth has done amazing there with getting all these pathways open, and Paul Elliott as well. So it really started about 7 years ago, and yes, I did it in the other way. I kind of said, right, let me get all my badges. Maybe hindsight, maybe I should have just taken a job, maybe as a player coach, and just get in that way. I thought to myself, well, do it properly, get my coaches, have a family, things like that, and then get back into football. But I probably would say about 10 to 12, 15, 15 applications or conversations with agents to maybe, this is happening, this is bubbling or whatever, and that's the situation. You just don't know when it's going to come. You think, have a conversation, then it goes dead or goes quiet, and then you think, all right, I've got to start again. So not all applications get to an interview. That's a shame. Well, this one was slightly different, how it was conducted, and I kind of like it that way. So I've been abroad, I've been at home, so I've looked at both. I've even gone 10 hours away for an interview, but I've done a lot of miles. I've probably I should be an ambassador for British Airways. The amount of air miles I've done. But in between that, I've gone to clubs, gone to Italian clubs, I've gone, in and out of some English clubs, and spent 3-4 days watching training, speaking to the managers and things like that. And also international football as well. So for me, that gave me kind of the basis of where I want to be as a manager. Also, nicking ideas here and there. I think I like that idea. Bring it in. And for me, that's also, if you haven't got a job, you've got to keep on looking, keep on kind of probing, and that's all off on my own back as well. Just getting in clubs, watching games, see how the training goes into the games, and see how it all maps, all knits together.
So I found it done from the Daily Mirror. I know obviously your first aim is to keep Macclesfield in this division, but on a personal level, what is your ambition in management? And have you ever sort of thought, well, actually, that's an impossible dream?
Well, I don't want to think too far from Macclesfield. I think, for me, I don't want to kind of say I want to be, somewhere in 10 years' time. Yes, everyone has their goals, but for me, it's all about, concentrating, just like the football, take every game as it comes. And I think for me, getting this job right is the priority for me. And that's what I'm here to do, get it right, look at every single detail. And I think that's the case, really. Get this right first.
Tim Rich from the iPaper. So since you retired, you've been linked with a lot of things, acting, a bit of politics. Could you really imagine life without football? No.
I think it always, it's like a magnet. Just kind of drew me back into football. I think that's the case, really. Sometimes you've got players and things happen in between football. But in the end, when it all gets washed away, what's left is football. So that's where my heart is.
Okay, can we move over here? Yes, sir, over there.
Hi, Sol. Niall here from XS Manchester. You played in the World Cup. You went an undefeated season with Arsenal. You won the FA Cup with Portsmouth. But you also played one game for Notts County at this level. How have you developed since then to perhaps adapt to this level League Two now? Because obviously for you back in your playing days, it didn't seem quite right for you at that time.
Well, Notts County was a different scenario. It was, I don't want to get into detail. It's a shame that it didn't work out. That was kind of playing for a couple of years and then going into like a full-time coaching role. But we all know what happened to that situation. So I think for me, it's football. If you're very clever at football and you watch football and you watch how people train and you watch what you need to kind of get out of the players and what they need to do, I think you adapt and you switch on and you learn very, very quickly, and that's what I'm here to do. Yes, I haven't played this level, but yes, I'm a good thinker, and I look at all angles and look at all situations, and I pick up what I need to do to win this game. So that's the kind of human being I am. I don't really muck around. I don't really waste time with things that will not kind of benefit the club or the players. We haven't got time for that at the club. We need to carry on winning games and get up, and that's what it's adaptable. Very adaptable with the playing styles, and that's what you got to do and be.
Yes, sir.
Hi, so Andy Bunty from The Guardian. You said you made 12, 15 applications for jobs. Did you ever get feedback on why they didn't progress, and anything that left you scratching your head as to why you were...
Some did, yeah. Others feedback, obviously you got the old thing about inexperience and things like that, which is, I can understand that. But then you look at, other players who've who are probably a lot higher than me and probably the same type of career, and they're the same kind of experience. So I think it comes down to relationships, how you click with the owners, or how you kind of interview kind of process. You never know. There's many things can kind of come into the equation, but the main thing is some give an interview, some say no, thank you for coming. So you just got to get on with it. I think you just got to keep on knocking on the door. And this situation happened, and I said, right, I'm going to take this. And I think now I can look behind me now and say, well, all those interviews, all those times I was travelling around watching training and watching games and talking to managers, and I was a little bit on the LMA courses as well. So you find out how to kind of talk to hierarchy, or how to kind of the owners. So if you've got an interview, you've got hierarchy and football kind of coaches, you don't lose none of them in the room. So all that kind of stuff. All adds up to now where I am today, and I'm pleased God I'm here and I can do a fantastic job.
Okay, next one. Yes.
Association. You've got a stature in the game that is perhaps not often seen at this level. What's been your first interaction with the players and the reception you received from them?
Good, definitely with Exeter. It's nice to see them, and I think it's good to kind of just give them kind of a good speech, and so they can relax and they can hear your voice firsthand, not through TV or radio or whatever, and just shake everyone's hands. I think the lads are very responsive. They're a good bunch of lads. My first full training session today, they responded well. I think everyone was happy with the session. So I'm just really, just want to get on with it and get into the groove and get a routine going. That's the main thing, from diet to training methods and getting my team, just get it all kind of flowing. Because always in the beginning there's a lot of gaps, communication gaps as well. So I want to kind of fill those things, and hopefully I can fill them up pretty quickly so the whole ship runs smoothly.
Do you think, just to follow up, do you think, given the level you played at, would you bring a sort of maybe a level of professionalism that isn't seen? You're talking about filling gaps on diet and nutrition. Are there things you think?
No, there's food there, but it's just certain things I want to kind of look at. I just need to look at, because there was I need to see things and vet things. So that's all really. These guys are very professional, professional outfit. So it's just things I need to see. So I'm happy with. And I'm a detail guy, so I look at all things, because I know there's a knock-on effect if you keep on missing things.
Okay, yes.
So, Kevin Brooks from the Express. Are you confident that ultimately you'll be judged on results and nothing else?
I think that's what it's all about. I think I'm used to that. Results are. I think that's a manager's situation. You just got to accept it. I think for me, this season is all about getting them up to mid-table, stuff like that, or safety, get them to safety and keep them in the division and go from there. But ultimately, yeah, of course you are judging the results. It's a little bit different as a player, but as a manager, that's the sphere, that's the world where managers are in, the managers and coaches are in.
Okay, next one. Yes, ma'am.
So I know, we sort of touched on this earlier. Given your stature in the game as a player, and I know you just want to do well for Macclesfield at the moment, but in the bigger picture of black managers and the fact that there are so few of them in our game, do you think that if you had some success, that you could change, let's say, perceptions right across Europe and some of those who are still stuck in another way of thinking?
I think for me, as long as I do a good job and do it professionally, as long as people see the quality and see me, who I really am, I think that's all you can do in football. Whatever comes after that, what attitude comes from that through success, I hope I'm not judged just on success. I hope I'm judged on how what kind of ship I run. And I think in the end, hopefully football wins and people start kind of looking at all scenarios. As I said before, I think in the end I just want to become a manager and forget what the colour you are. I think that's the way it should be, really. I'm thankful I got the opportunity here, and I'm gonna keep on working, and hopefully, as I said, you need a bit of luck in life as well. You got to work, and hopefully, you can be a bit more, get a bit of luck on the way, Donald Duck. But I think that's the case. I think I just got to carry myself, do things properly, and then hopefully things can change. Who knows?
Okay, we've got time for another 3 more. So anybody who hasn't asked anything maybe would like to? Yeah.
Right. So, with your connections in the game and all the people you know from 25 years, I guess you're saying in professional football, are there people you can turn to, not just for advice, but in terms of helping to bring players in?
Oh yeah, I'll be happy. I'd have to. So a lot of favours will be, the phone will be very, very hot. Well, it's hot now anyway. So, and I have to recognise the situation we're in. We loans are the way forward, and the relationships with some of the bigger teams will come in handy. Really, I'm already on that because. You can get 1 or 2 players who can make the difference for you, for sure. And in the end, it becomes a relationship thing. If they're not too happy with you or with surroundings, or who knows what turns off young players to go to a club. But if you get hungry ones who maybe not on the last chance saloon, but they're kind of the club is looking, come down there, get good training. Beef up a little bit, see the football, and then maybe come back to us a bit more, a year older, year wiser, bit streetwise on the pitch. That's what I can do. So hopefully, me with those relationships can bring some players that maybe might not have thought about coming here. I think you have to utilise everything you got in this scenarios.
Okay, so last couple, and Billy.
Yeah, so, I don't expect you to tell us what you're getting paid, but I'm assuming...
Did that laugh tell you?
I'm assuming financially you didn't need to go into management or at this level of management. I'm assuming it's not about finance.
I think for me it's all about the football. It's about the football. It's about getting me on that ladder, so to speak. Get on the ladder. I know it's we're talking about the League 2, but get on that ladder and do a good job. And that's what I've always been like that as a young boy. I've always wanted to kind of, every time I went on the pitch or every time I kind of got myself into anything, I wanted to do it properly. And that's me. And so hopefully, I've not lost that, so that will continue for sure, and the players will see that. And so it's not about the money because I don't really want to talk about that, but it really is all about the football.
Okay, last one, please.
Sorry, yeah, just kind of following on that a little bit. There was an interview you did about 5 years ago where you said you would...
God, I can't remember, 5 years ago.
You said you would actually work for free for a season just for the sake of getting a Premier League.
Yeah.
Was that actually a conversation you ever had with the club? Did you ever sort of formally pitch that to anyone?
Not formally, but in my head, yeah. So... I'm not saying what I'm on now, but I'm just saying it's all about the football.
Right, brilliant. Thank you very much, everyone. Really good afternoon. Some great questions.